Okay, I am going to do some of the work for you in a video, and then hopefully you'll be able to do some of them on your own. I'm going to walk through most of the problems on lesson 6 so that if you don't understand or you're not really sure how to do it, you can just stay on the video and do this whole video with me. Otherwise, do a few with us and then you're free to just take off and go for it, okay? So the lesson today was evaluate expressions. So when a symbol, such as a question mark and a box, right? And we talked about other symbols. You could have a heart, you could have a triangle, you could have a smiley face. Remember, we're going to leave out O, I, and L. We don't want those as our symbols, right? But we can do boxes, question marks. You can come up with whatever symbol you want. So when a symbol, such as a question mark in a box, or a letter, such as X or Y, is used to stand for an unknown, it is called a variable. Remember, we've talked about this. These are variables. So in our math today, we're going to use variables. So let's look at example 1. Santiago unpacked 5 more boxes of light bulbs than boxes of flashlights. And it wants us to write an expression using the variable X for the unknown. So if I come back up here, I can use cubes and circle the numbers, right? 5. And then I can underline, there's not going to be a question, I guess. It wants us to write an expression. But I want you to pay attention to the fact that you're talking about light bulbs, okay? You're talking about flashlights, you're talking about light bulbs, and more, right? More is our keyword. So it wants you to write an expression, and then it gives you the example. 5 plus X. Now look at it. They put 5 because he unpacked 5 more boxes of light bulbs than boxes of flashlights. So 5 plus X. X is our variable. When you find the value of an expression by replacing the variable with a number, you evaluate. So when you're solving, right, look up at our cubes. The E is evaluate, right? That's when you actually do the work and you solve it. So that's all it is. This right here is writing the expression, and today we're going to work on evaluating or solving the expression. So let's look down here at example number 2. The hardware store has 6 fewer step ladders than extension ladders. There are Y extension ladders, so it's not telling us how many extension ladders there are. They're using a variable Y, and they want us to write an expression using the variable Y. Then evaluate or solve the expression if Y equals 10. So now they're telling us what Y equals. So let's just go through this. We know there's going to be the number 6. We're going to circle the Y because Y is important. It's not a number, but it has a value, right? There's our Y. And we're going to write an expression. Look at our keywords. We know we're talking about a step ladder, right? We know we're talking about extension ladders. But look at these keywords. Fewer than, right? So look back at the back wall. Fewer than, if you see that. If you see those words fewer than, are they by the addition sign, the subtraction sign, the multiplication sign, or the division sign? They're by subtraction because fewer than tells us that we're going to subtract. So it does it for you. It writes the expression for you, Y minus 6. Then it tells you right here, well, we're going to say Y equals 10. Oh, well, if Y equals 10, then over here, I'm going to replace it with a 10. 10 minus 6, I can solve that. 10 minus 6 is 10. Oh, can you see my hands? 10 minus 6. How many do I have left? There are 4 step ladders. So the trickiest part is paying attention to, do they tell you what your variable equals, okay? And then filling that part in. I hope you could see all that. I didn't check my camera. All right, let's look at the back side. And I'll do better to make sure my camera's on there for you. Okay, so sometimes an expression has more than one operation. Sometimes your expression, look down here, it's going to have a plus and a times. Remember order of operations, okay? So when there are no parentheses, remember our PEMDAS, it should be on the board. It says when there are no parentheses, so you checked, there's no parentheses, make sure you check your expressions. Then you're going to multiply, divide, add, or subtract. Well, if there's no parentheses, multiply and divide in order from left to right. Remember, we talked about this. You just go how you read. Then you add or subtract from left to right. So this is where you've really got to pay attention to PEMDAS. So Owen looked at a set of 4 pliers. Pliers are just tools that you use to like pinch things. His dad looked at a set that had S times as many pliers plus 3 more. If S equals 2, how many pliers were in the set Owen's dad looked at? So write an expression and then evaluate it. Okay, we can write the expression. If you look right here, they did it for us. Write the expression 3 plus S times 4. Because his dad looked at a set that had S times as many pliers. Look right here. This is S times as many pliers as what Owen looked at. Because Owen looked at 4, right? So it's S times that amount plus 3 more. Okay, so 3 plus S times 4. Now we're going to replace our S with 2. So if you come down here, the S got replaced with a 2. So now we have 3 plus 2 times 4. But look at our equation. Look at our equation. Is there, or expression, is there parentheses? Nope. So check your expressions. We have to add and then we have to multiply in this expression. All right, but what's our first step? PEMDAS tells us we have to multiply. So that's why right here it shows your caret down here. You have to multiply first. 2 times 4 is 8. Then bring down the other stuff. Now I've multiplied. Do I need to divide? No. Do I need to add though? Yes. So now I add 3 plus 8 and I get 11. So if S equals 2, then 3 plus S times 4 equals 11. There were 11 pliers in the set. Take a deep breath. If you're ready to roll, go ahead. I'm going to do a couple down here for those that need it. So down here's guided practice. We're going to evaluate the expression if A equals 2 and B equals 5. That means when you see A, you're going to replace it with a 2. If you see B, you're going to replace it with a 5. So let's just look at example number 1, or problem number 1. 3 plus A. Well, A is just a letter, but if we look up here, it tells us A equals 2. Oh, so 3 plus 2 equals, what is 3 plus 2? You solve it. Okay, then you're going to come to number 2. 11 minus B. B is our variable again, right? So we're going to look up here. Oh, they're telling us B equals 5. Okay, so 11 minus 5 equals, you solve for it. Okay, come down here and try number 3. B times 4. And if you look up here, B equals 5. So 5, B becomes, all right, this comes here, 5 times 4. Times 4 equals, solve that one. Okay, let's try number 4. 12 divided by A plus 4. Now here's where you have to remember your PEMDAS. So either write it on your paper or look up on the board, but we've got to use PEMDAS. I'm going to put it down here again so we remember to use it, okay? So 12 divided by A plus 4. A equals 2. So on this line, 12 divided by, on this little blue line, I'm going to write my 2 plus 4. Okay, so PEMDAS tells me check my parentheses. I don't have any. Check my expressions. Okay, I'm going to divide and I'm going to add. All right, then I multiply, divide, add, and subtract. Well, is there any multiplying that has to take place? Nope. Is there division? Yes. 12 divided by 2, I have to solve that first. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. Then I bring down my plus 4. Now I can check. My only operation is addition. So I come down here. 6 plus 4 is good. 10. Okay, if you're ready to take off, go for it. I printed all these off so I could do them with you if you need help. So stay with me if you need help. Okay. Page 535. I'm at the top. I'm going to do number 5. So algebra. Ooh, look it. It's algebra, algebra. It's so spooky, huh? Yeah, right. Come on, guys. We got this. Okay. Evaluate each expression, and then it tells us if z equals 7 and y equals 20. So we got to pay attention to what the variables equal. So then we come down here, 8 times z minus y. So the first step is I'm going to replace my z and my y with numbers. So I just take it and I go 8 in parentheses, because it's in parentheses, times z, and z equals 7, minus, and y equals 20. All right. Then I'm going to write PEMDAS so I remember. Okay. So I have to start with my parentheses. Do I have parentheses? Yes, I do. I have to do what's in the parentheses first. So 8 times 7 is, don't you look at that back wall. 8 times 7 is 56. Then I just bring down everything else, minus 20. And 56 minus 20, if you can't do it right here, just come rewrite it. 56 minus 20. 6 minus 0 is 6. 5 minus 2 is 3, equals 36. Okay, let's look at number 6. Y plus 3 times 4. So I replace my y with 20 because it tells me it's worth 20 right here. Plus 3 times 4. Okay, I have to check my PEMDAS, my order of operations. Do I have parentheses? No. Do I know my expressions? Yes, I have to add and I have to multiply. Okay, but order of operations tells me I have to multiply first, right? I can't add yet, I have to multiply. So I'm going to start on this side. 3 times 4 is 12, right? Bring down this plus 20. You just bring it down. 20 plus 12. Well, I don't have room, so I'm going to come over here. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. The answer is 32. Try these other ones by yourself. Just replace the variable and follow order of operations. Okay, I'm going to skip down and look at number 11 through 15. So if you're still working, pause the video. If you're still up here, pause the video. Okay, down here. Here's our tricky algebra. We're not scared of algebra though. We're going to draw a line to match the expression. These are the expressions to its value over here if g equals 2. So we're going to have to do some math and then we're going to have to match these up, okay? So just look at number 11. 5 plus 3 times g, and it tells us that g equals 2. Now, you may want to get a scratch paper for this. I'm going to try to write mine over here so you can kind of see it. And I'm not going to do all of these, but I'll help you get started. So I'm going to do number 11. It has parentheses, and it says 5 plus 3 times g, and g is 2. So I'm just going to make it a 2. Order of operations tells me I start with my parentheses. So I do what's in the parentheses first. 5 plus 3 is 8. Now I bring down my times 2, and 8 times 2 is 16. So this guy is going to get matched to 16, okay? Please show your work on this. Don't just do it in your head. Otherwise, I'll think, oh, so-and-so just looked off so-and-so's or something like that, okay? Let me do, I'm going to do number 15. I'm not going to do those other ones, but I'll do number 15. So g times 5 minus 5. So g is 2 times, and then in parentheses, 5 minus 5. Order of operation tells me I have to do parentheses first. So 5 minus 5 is 0. I bring down the 2 times, and 2 times 0 equals 0. So this guy, number 15, goes to 0. Pause the video and work those ones out if you can, okay? I'm going to come down here and look at number 16 and 17. So if you're still working, pause the video. You're fine. Okay, number 16. We're going to circle yes or no to tell whether the expression is evaluated correctly if n equals 12. So we have to say, yes, it's done correct, or no, it's not done correctly. And they're telling us n equals 12. Okay, so here's my expression, n divided by 4 times 6. Now, I could just plug in the 12 and try and do it in my head, but then my teacher, Mrs. Mogul, won't be able to see what happened in my head. So I have to show my work, right? Right? Crew, show your work. Treg, show your work. Kinsey, oh, just kidding, Kinsey, always show your work. Make sure you show your work. So n is going to equal 12. So if I come over here, 12 divided by 4 times 6. Okay? See where I got the 12, the n, and the 12. This becomes 12. I just repeated divided by 4 times 6. Okay. So then they're saying 12 divided by 4 is 3. Well, I'll check it. 12 divided by 4, that really is 3. Bring down the times 6, and that really does equal 18. So did they do that one correctly? Yes. You do number 17. Replace the n with 12. Do the work so that you can see if there's a mistake, because if you look at number 18, it says, did you circle no for either exercise 16 or 17? And you have to explain. So if it's not right, this one's fine, but if this one's not right, you have to explain where the mistake is. So make sure that you check your order of operations, right? Oh, that shouldn't be add. Subtract, add, divide, multiply. Check those parentheses. Check order of operations on this one, okay? Do it and then pause the video, work it out. Let's just look on the back. I don't think you're going to really need me to do all of these on the back. You're going to use algebra to write an expression and then evaluate it. So remember your keywords like greater than, times, times as many or more than. Tomas has $10. Aisha has X more than Tomas. If X is 5, how much money does Aisha have? So just think logically about that, but show your work. These are brain builders. They're going to make your brain think. There are 3 swing sets at a playground. Draw a picture. This is what Mrs. Mogul's brain has to do. Like, okay, here's my swing sets, right? And 3 swing sets at the playground, and then there's 2 at the park. Okay, there's 2 at the park. Each swing has V swings, and V equals 3. Oh, so there's a swing, 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 a swing. Get it? They all have 3 little swings on them. All right. What's the total number of swings? Show me an expression. Write it out. Jimena put 5 pencils and N pencils in a pencil box for each of her 2 friends. Write an expression you will use to find the total number of pens and pencils. So she put 5 pencils and N pens in pencil box for each of her 2 friends. So you have to write the expression. It comes down here. If N equals 4, how many total pencils did Jimena put in the boxes? So up here, you're just doing it with the letter N. Down here, you're going to solve it as if N equals 4. Identify the structure. Neil forgot to place the parentheses on the expression below. Place the parentheses so the expression has a value of 2. So this is where you're going to have to use order of operations to figure out where do you put the parentheses so that when you solve this, the expression has a value of 2. Make sure that you try it lots of different ways. Try it 12 minus 4 plus 6. Does it equal 2? If not, put parentheses in place to help you figure it out. Then number 23, when evaluating an expression with more than one operation and no parentheses, how should you proceed? You should listen to Mrs. Mogul and use order of operations. Please include that in your answer. Okay, if you need to work, but you still need help, pause the video. You're going to be fine. I'm going to go on to the homework. Or rewind if you're not sure on something and you need more help, okay? So the homework, evaluate the expression. It tells you what C and D equal. On number 4, 5, and 6, you're going to do the same thing. Now you're using X and Y, and it tells you what the value of X and Y are. And then on the back, this one, write an expression for each situation and then evaluate it, right? Then solve it. Here's your brain builders. You can do these. I promise you can do these. And then down here's your vocabulary. Explain what a variable is. Variables are back here on page 533. There's your word right there. Look at page 533. What does it mean to evaluate an expression? Well, if you look back on page 533, text evidence, baby. Look at us using text evidence in our math. And then a test practice question down here. You can do this math. I promise you can do it. You have an awesome substitute teacher there to help you. Good luck. I will see you next week.